All right. This week's been really busy, so I haven't really been able to do a lot of videos. So I do have some time right now. So I just wanted to kind of do something based on kind of how I look at charts. So I personally don't use moving averages. It's just a preference. There's nothing wrong with them. Again, I just want to look at kind of the pure price action and kind of just go from there. Um, Also, I do like um, bar type of candles, if you want to say open, high, low, close. Because sometimes with the candles, because I used to do a ton, I mean, I've read probably 7, 8 books on candlestick analysis by Steve Neeson. It would make me biased towards doing something versus if I have the bar chart. So I kind of, again, just like to look at price action. And basically, let's start with the Dow Jones. We typically don't, but we're starting to that out because that's just what I have. Without any price action, you should be able to look at kind of the lows of what's going on to kind of see that you have uh, higher lows in place. You could see them here, 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 here. It's not the cleanest, but I'm not, I never said I was an artist. Here, here. With all these in place on the weekly, you got to be very cautious trying to short because you don't have lower highs, which would then give you the bias towards beating the short side. So let's go to the daily and kind of just back it out a little bit. Um, and you kind of could see what's going on here. Um, you can see that this has been moving higher. So you start from the weekly, maybe if you even sometimes it's harder when you're looking at the daily to kind of see the price action, but with the weekly kind of really cleared it up. You see you have the higher lows in place, so careful going short. So if this one holds, you have another one in place. You have another one right there. So this is our Dow Jones analysis based on the weekly and the daily. So we use the weekly first, just use the lows. Let's go to SPY. See, let's go to the weekly. Same thing. No moving averages whatsoever. Just continue to look at the higher lows being put in place on the weekly. Okay, before you start saying, okay, I want to get bearish, a lot of people will short. Maybe it came back into this one a little bit. No big deal, right? There, there. Some of you might say, oh, it broke down below. Yeah, it broke down below, but how much of a retracement was it from this previous low? That's your homework to do. Going lower, higher, see if this one will hold. Okay, we take this off, right? We take this off, and then we say, okay, now let's go to the daily and see what's going on. So you could back out and say, okay, this one retraced really deep, but how much deep was it compared to like this low? Okay, so you say, oh, it retraced all the way. That's cool, but that was just one time it retraced. And if you wanted to kind of really look at what was going on, let's say you take the fib from here. It traced to 50%. Okay, yeah, that's fine, but it wasn't enough to really back out. But again, if you looked at just the daily, you might say, shit, I'm a little nervous. That's fine. But again, using the weekly to kind of give you a perspective, you can see that this would have been a nice low risk trade if you say, okay, I'm looking at it based on this low, because or even this low, okay? But again, you're just looking at it going up from the weekly on what was actually significant. You can still see that we're still looking good. Now we have a higher low in place, and let's see how much juice we can have going to the upside. Now this doesn't mean that it's just continuing, but you could say, where is my bias? And without any moving averages, you can say it's to the upside, okay? Did the diamond already, right? Yes. Let's look at the QQQ. Same thing. So let's start down here. We do the same exercise, okay? We go up, 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 and see where we go from here. Okay, we're scrolling in, okay? And we can see we were talking about this little trading range that we were saying, shit, this might be a little annoying for a little while. But if I took that off, okay, and this now is down to here, if this holds, we still have higher lows in place. The uptrend is still intact. It's been intact for a long time. We could have done this all the way from down here. Again, you do have the retracements, but you want to see how much of the retracement is. So let's take this as an example, just kind of doing more educational stuff. Hopefully you guys like this. So let's say you take this low, right? Or let's say, matter of fact, let's do another one. Let's say you take this low right here. Okay, you take a fib retracement of where this low was, you go all the way up, it didn't even get to 32%, kind of not really even scared. Now you say, Mike, well, what happened if I use another one? Okay, let's roll it up a little bit. It went to 50% from this previous lows. You should be able to see those significant lows. And it got 50%, turned sideways around there, and popped back to the upside. Some people trade the weekly, and now you can see why, because it's, it's giving you, a lot less noise, but you just got to understand you're going to have to hold longer. But you can still see the weekly trend is still in place. Okay, let's look at some significant names, see if you can add this type of analysis. No, let's use IWM. IWM we have to be a little cautious with. So let me take all the drawings off of this one. Okay, this is just, again, using some type of an, very simple, clean charts. Going up. See, we could definitely see that the lows are in place, going higher, higher. Now it's starting not to get any higher. So let's say we look and say, okay, we see that it's not getting higher. Cool. Now let's look at this retracement from up here or from down here. Okay. And you say, shoot, we didn't even get to 32%. You say, well, I didn't want to use that one. I want to use that. Okay, it's not even at 50. Don't want to use that one. Use this one. 50% is right here. Didn't even get to there. Don't want to use that one. Use this one. It finally got to 50%. And again, you can then say that so a lot of people, I say a lot of churning, sideways action, but what was the trend before the churn is more important than what's going on right here, because this could just be 5 legs and back to the upside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It could be to the downside, but you're just looking at it going sideways. So you're just saying, okay, go 5-leg move down. We understand that the trend is going up this way. Let's see what happens. Again, we have, if it breaks above this high, maybe it continues to the upside. Okay? This is keeping it as simple and as clean as possible. We'll go over a couple names. We'll actually go over just one name because don't want to really, I don't want this to be a super long video. So we're looking at the weekly, right? We do the same thing. We keep it simple. Down here, up, 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 up. Okay, up. Where's the trend? Since, if you want to see it, since this time period of the 13th, so it's last year, 7th July last year, where's the trend been? It's been up. Okay, so with that said, then you go to a daily and then you say, okay, it looks a little different on a daily. I get it, but again, there's nothing wrong with that. Let me see if I did anything wrong here. Okay, but maybe this can help some people look at and identify trend, because again, old cliche, the trend is my friend. Well, it's true. So just take this and say, okay, where's the trend for Apple? Now it's a lot easier to kind of know where the trend is and say, okay, we want to look in at this point, say, how much did this retrace? So we look, we say, okay, this retraced to about 50%. Are you willing to take that? I am. I am all day. So that's kind of the lesson so far. And again, you don't have to be the first one out the foxhole. As I always say, so many times you're probably annoyed from it. But again, you don't have to be the first one to say, I think it's a top. I think it's a top. You know how many people shorted SPY? Okay, and if you're short for a couple of days, that's cool, but people are looking to guess the top. Now, if you're trying to guess the top versus saying I'm willing to short the retracement, that's two different conversations. But keep this in mind and look at how to view the trend. Take care.